motocykla. No właśnie, to przydarzyło się Maciejowi Kuciapie wczoraj podczas przygotowywania maszyny. Teraz na szczęście chyba nikt nie ucierpiał. No. Zupełne zaskoczenie. Okazuje się, że tak.
Underway in the final, Doyle got a good start. Oh, no! A huge incident on the first corner.
Let's see what happens. Doyle got a flyer. He's across Hancock. Oh, there's a bit of it. Oh, their bikes might have locked together. Jason Doyle has taken a very, very nasty hit.
Right.
Hancock and Doyle, yeah, they've tangled for sure. Doyle's,
oh, that's terrible.
yeah.
That is terrible.
Back up the inside, what a fantastic move. Sam Masters putting himself in. He goes past Nicky Pedersen on the inside. Here comes Nicky again.
I don't believe it. The young Aussie serving it up to the triple world champion. Oh, that's close. Sam Masters and Pedersen. Oh, well, it started already. It has already started.
Here we go.
Not again.
No.
Not again.
No, don't do that, boys. Sam's obviously not happy with what's happened on track. It's hard racing. You know, Nicky's got a lot of experience at this level. Sam's obviously feeling hard done by. There wasn't a lot of racing room left, but there was just enough.
14. Everson's made a good one, and so has Kasper Zakov too. Now Hancock is going to try and go through the middle and around the outside. Oh! That's a crash down the back straight. Hancock and Everson go down.
Just goes straight across. Look at Hancock desperately gets his hand caught on the back tyre of Everson, and that causes a problem. And then subsequently gets his arm and hand caught in his own machine. Watch it now. He's desperately trying to get down. And it's there, just there. The hand gets pulled in on back tyre of Everson. Very awkward crash. And clearly Everson very uncomfortable, a knee injury possibly. But the hand of Hancock getting sucked underneath the mudguard, the rear mudguard. There now. Tyre's pulling him in, pulling him off the bike. Look, his whole arm's gone in there. That is dramatic.
Well, I hope both boys are going to be okay here.
Look at his arm there. Look, oh, that's awful.
Meet number 4. And Wooffinden's made a good one off the outside gate. Oh, it's very tight there, and down goes Woofinden and Smolinski as well.
No room, was there?
Looking crash in the opening turn.
He's along just in front, yeah, and they all get there together, the three of them. And Smolinski is the meat in the sandwich there with Lindgren on the other, and they all crash into each other, and unfortunately, Woofinden just disappears under the fence. He's away from the bike, so fingers crossed that he hasn't got too many injuries, but...
Well, we are hearing that he's just getting his breath back, Woofinden. Going to the fence, is there any room there? He's got to back off! Oh, he's got square! Surely there's going to be a crash! No! Oh my goodness, Kasper's in the fence! Oh, there's going to be a red light now! There is going to be a red light, and well... Let's watch it again.
Up the inside, he's made the move. Kasperzak tries to lean on him. What a say. They were all almost 4 abreast. It's an awkward ending there. Here we see it. Nicky now, the opportunity gets there. He gets himself alongside as Kasperzak's coming across. It's similar to the incident we saw in Voyens with Troy Batchelor. But there, Kasperzak was in control and then just runs wide.
Melodia przyszłości. Woofinden czy Harris? Woofinden ciasno, ależ dramatycznie się kończy to. Nikt nie chciał odpuścić. Spycha Scotta. Taj jest teoretycznie najszybszy, ale Bomber Harris. Teoretycznie tutaj Bomberowi nie miało prawa nic się stać, bo był ostatni, wypuścił.
Sajdino. Oj, 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 aj, aj, aj. Herregud.
Han står på tvären där och Hans har ingenstans att ta väg utan...
Aj. Och helt sonika alltså flyger rakt över sargen där. Hur vårdslöst är den där ingången från Seifertino?
Ja. Efteråt också. Men kolla, publiken står upp, jublar och hyllar Kai Wuofinen.
Ja, vi har en Seifert av Nichols repris att vänta här. Och de är förbannade nu på varandra och det är...
Nu blir det slagsmål här, det tror jag.
Piotra Pawlickiego i wyglądało na to, tak jak Kuba mówił, że tam jakaś awaria sprzętu, ale skoro tym sprzętem można jeszcze tyle czasu jeździć na jednym kole, to znaczy, że nie było z nim aż tak najgorzej.
Myślę, że nie...
Oj, 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 vilken målgång!
Jedzie Turecki, ale na razie Łodzianie. Niespodziewanie kapitalnie. Fatalnie. Tak, zdecydowane prowadzenie tutaj właśnie widzimy. Wyrzuciło motocykl Misulskiego i tutaj najgorzej na tym ucierpiał Jakub Jamruk, który stał...
Ze sprzętem jest absolutnie perfekcyjnie. Jeszcze raz powtórka tego upadku Nikiego Pedersena. Czy ty pamiętasz, który nadgarstek miał złamany Niki Pedersen w tamtym roku?
Problemy w ogóle z nadgarstkami. Widać, on tutaj się trzyma, widać w tym momencie.
To go up high. Bjarne's going to have to really reach and slow him down there. Look at that. Oh, jeez. Oh. Unbelievable.
Nasty spill.
Unbelievable. Scotty gets himself right there, but just about there. All it was the front wheel got caught up on something on Bjarne's bike, and it just stopped him and pulled them both down on the ground immediately. You can just see right here, I don't know what we're going to see, if it's a foot peg. Yeah, you can just see where, Bjarne's foot just got taken off the foot peg, and that got sucked into the spokes.
The front wheel has collapsed there.
Exactly.
Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. What do you need to know? Have a drink, have your say. All opinions here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Enjoy your stay. Michael, Matt, and Chris are here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Come and have your say.
In the studio tonight, we have one depressed Wolves fan, one worried Brummie fan, and a Blues fan bereft of all hope. But he doesn't count. So, Paul looked sharp last night as Wolves whimpered, and Cradley looked sharp last night and have now had practice on our track, which means next week the away team has home advantage. Only in Speedway. Right, for those of you watching us on Facebook, how do you like our new studio? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Not bad.
Yeah. We're almost professional here now.
Almost.
Well, one of us, maybe.
Well, it's not going to be you, is it? Let's be
No,
honest.
it's true.
So, okay, so we have in the studio tonight one depressed Wolves fan. Say hello, Matt Buck.
Good evening.
We have one Blues fan bereft of all hope. Say hello, Chris.
Good evening.
And one worried Brummie fan, that's myself, GA. Hello, everybody. So, I would like to start tonight, if I may, with a history lesson.
Oh, go on then.
So, this little radio show that we have, and started off, how many years ago now? About five years ago, in a little corner
was that corner
room,
over there?
That corner over there, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
With one mic.
Yeah.
And not a lot of talent and not a lot of hope.
No.
And can you remember how many listeners we had?
Well, there was 4, I think.
4 listeners.
Yeah.
Right. And we was quite pleased about that, wasn't we? Bless us.
In fact, we were shocked.
Yes. How many listeners did it come up to last week in the end?
I think it was getting on for just under 3,000.
So we've come a long way. We've come a long way. So
we just
sort of like to say thank you to everybody. Now, obviously, because we're now on Facebook, this show that started out as a little podcast, really, to do with Birmingham Speedway, has sort of broadened its horizons a bit, which is why Matt's part of the show, talking all things Wolves. We try to keep it as short as possible, but that happens. But also, we are obviously now, because of the way Facebook works, we have people from other clubs watching us and listening to us. So what I'd like to say to them is please feel free to participate. If you've got any comments about Speedway in general, about your club in general, that you want to put across, we will mention them live on air, and if we have any answers or any comments, we'll, because we're quite opinionated.
Just because we're Brummies fans and Wolves fans doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about other clubs.
We
want to talk about them.
It's the Speedway family.
We might even talk about Cradle.
I think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Yes, well.
And can I just say the first comment in is comments in from Ian Mann. He just wants to know, when does the season start?
It started. In fact, tonight. Who have we got racing tonight?
We've got the challenge meeting between Sheffield and Somerset, which of course is free entry. So that's a good move for the Sheffield promotion.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if it is a good move, won't it? How that works.
Absolutely.
Because it's not about how many people turn up tonight. It's about how many people then come back the next week, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got Ipswich against Berwick as well at Vauxhall, and of course Ipswich.
Both matches, of course, have Brummie interest.
Yeah, of course Ipswich had a very good start last week against Sheffield, and once again highly fancied. And how many times have we said that over the years? And
well, I tipped them this year, so there you go. And what a great start for Daniel Hume last week against Sheffield.
Did really well, didn't he?
9 points in the championship.
Yeah. JPB found that going a bit tougher, but it's going to be.
It's a big learning.
It's a big learning curve for him there. Daniel Hume's had an extra year riding in that division, so he knows a bit more of what's expected.
He looks like a Premier League rider. Oh, Championship rider. Yeah. Hello.
Another comment from Clint Ellis. Do you think Wolves are good, strong enough to win the league this season?
That's over
to you.
Playoffs, I think, are a distinct possibility. Not so sure about the championship.
A lot will depend
and
on
I think really you saw that in a nutshell last night. I said at the start of the season, wasn't convinced by the reserves, not convinced by having Adam Skornicki back. I know Adams had a bit of a delayed start of the season because of injury, but both the reserves were well off the pace at
Paul last night.
So
in a minute, we'll have a good look at that. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is that some nights in Speedway, we'll get to our little den here at Speedway Tavern Towers.
HQ, Towers.
HQ, yeah. It's not that grand. There's not a lot happening. So on nights like this, we need your comments, and you've been brilliant so far, to help us jolly the show along, because this show is, as we've always said, by the fans, for the fans, and so it's your show as much as it is ours, probably even more so. So,
do you want an update from
let's have some updates.
Three heats gone. All 3 heats have been won by riders with a Birmingham connection.
Okay, this is which match? Sorry,
Ipswich Berwick.
Ipswich Berwick.
So 4-2 for Ipswich in the first heat. Danny King winning the heat ahead of Lewis Bridger. Daniel Hume and Connor Mountain teaming up for a 5-1 in the reserves heat, and then Nico Gavati beating Dimitri Burge and another former Birmingham man, Klaus Wissing, for 3-all. So it's 12-6 in favour of the Witches after 3 heats.
You know what? We could have a really good championship team of ex-Brummie riders, couldn't we? There's enough of them out there. We could have a really good championship team.
And a reserve team.
I beg your pardon?
And a reserve team, probably.
Yes. There is that. And Sheffield? What's happening at Sheffield?
Crowd is huge, apparently, so the move to bring in free admission hopefully is a good sign.
I worry about that because how many of them are Speedway fans from other...
Well, you always worry with this sort of thing, don't you? Because usually if something's free, you usually think, well, if it's for free, then...
Yeah, the proof of the pudding will be in the next meeting, won't it? Really?
Absolutely, but Ipswich, Sheffield 13, Somerset 11.
So that's a close match, that's always going to be good.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it is a challenge meeting in fairness, but still.
JPB, has he had a...
Had 2 third places, two paid seconds actually.
Okay.
So he's off the mark.
Oh, well done, JPB. Excellent stuff. So I guess. There's another little feature we want to start tonight, isn't there, lads? In fact, we need to come up with a name for this.
Can we just have this comment and then we'll go to the
Of course
feature?
we can, yes.
Okay. From Dean Tuckey, he said, Eastbourne Eagles fans here. I'm off to Ryehouse on Saturday against Wolves. As we haven't started down at Arlington yet, what a cracker Saturday's set to be.
That's up to you, for you, really.
I'm hoping to go. I haven't decided yet. Forecast is iffy at the moment. Hopefully it'll change. I don't think it's, I certainly hope it's not going to be a similar scoreline to what we saw on Wednesday, but...
Rye has got a fairly decent team.
Rye has got a fairly decent team, so obviously it'll be their first action of the season, whereas Wolves have had 2 matches. So
the Ryehouse track is perhaps something that some of your riders might not have experienced before.
Well, I mean, Cole Howarth will have ridden there, Sam Masters will have ridden there, and the 2 reserves will have ridden there. I think Adam Skunnicky's ridden there as well. I think he rode in Chris Nath's testimonial a few years ago. Right. So there's really only going to be Freddie Linger that hasn't done any laps there. But
well, you can't imagine Freddie Linger.
I don't think Freddie will have many problems, to be honest. So, but if I do go, I'm looking forward to it. I've not been to Rice before.
Have you not?
No, I've never been there before. I've heard all the stories
It's a tidy little track, actually. I think it's a better track now than it was 3 or 4 years ago, because my understanding is that there was this adverse camber on the first and second bend, which is now, as I understand it, that's been taken away.
Well, I've heard many horror stories about the clouds of dust.
Yes.
To get there,
but I think that, to be fair, that was in Len Silver's day.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's not quite the same now. It'll be interesting to get your report on that when you're next here. Talking of which, we need to let everybody know that there won't be a Speedway Tavern next week because somebody's going on holiday again.
Yep.
I've been on a holiday for weeks. Come on, must be nearly 2 weeks.
You should be a teacher, man. You should be a teacher. This is brilliant. Come on.
David Egan says Adam didn't ride in Chris Neath meeting.
Do you not?
No, apparently.
I wasn't sure, but so Adam probably hasn't ridden there either. So
that would have been a good question, wouldn't it?
It would have been, unfortunately.
In our next feature. So we are introducing a new feature this week, and we're doing it with some trepidation, to be totally frank. But we'll give it a go. So, and next feature is we need to come up with a name for this, guys.
Can I do the jingle?
And the jingle would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
No, do the theme tune.
We'll call this Your Quiz.
Okay.
Your quiz.
And so the idea is, because last week we had a little bit of fun on air. It wasn't last week, it was the week before. We had a bit of fun on air, and we had a little quiz about Birmingham versus Wolves, and somebody eventually got it. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to turn it around? I immediately thought that was a rubbish idea, but I've done it now. So the idea is that you guys throw questions at us. This could end in tears, This really could end in tears. You guys throw questions at us, and if we can get the answer, we score a point. If you guys get the answer, you score a point, and we'll total it up at the end and see whether we won or you won. Chris is going to be in charge of the scores, so I think we're going to win, actually. we shall see.
Can he count?
Sorry.
I need to 5.
Sorry.
Yes,
Michael Birtle says hi. Just hi.
Hello,
Hi.
Michael Birtles. Nice to see you, mate. We ought to actually let people know how they can get in touch with us.
Okay. Well, the easiest way really is to go onto Facebook on the Speedway's Supporters Club site, or Brummie's Forum site, or UK Speedway site, or the official site. You can see us on there as well if you go to the visitors posts, and many other Facebook groups and pages. You can also listen to us on www.srbradio.com. facebook.com, and there's a chat box on there as well where you can join in. So there you go.
Yeah, we're watching all of those, and we've got a Twitter feed as well.
We've got a Twitter feed as well. Yeah, we've got a Twitter feed, and you can also listen to us on TuneIn. Just search for Sports Radio Birmingham or SRB Radio, and you'll find us.
There you go. I tell you what, it didn't have to beat that day in the corner when it's just from those four people listening.
Global now, global we are.
And the server kept going down as well.
Oh, crikey, yeah.
That was, well, we've come a long way. So,
only every week.
yeah, only every minute, I think.
Yeah.
So, shall we... sorry, Matt, we're going to go to your beloved Wolves, and you can give us your report on the Shield.
Yeah, disappointing, obviously, to go down to such a big scoreline at in Dorset yesterday. Won the first leg by 10 points. It was close all the way through. Maybe the scoreline was a little bit harsh on Poole, because there was only really 2 or 4 points in it all the way through the meeting until the last couple of races. But, I mean, Poole benefited him, and I think they are going to benefit immensely from having Nikolai Clint at reserve.
I think that might have been, sorry to interrupt, but that might have been something that was made worse by the fact that there was a bit of a programme mistake, wasn't there? We'll talk about that later.
Well, we don't know whether there was a programme mistake or not, because nobody's actually telling us.
Right.
So
that probably means there was then.
Yeah.
Sorry, we'll talk about that in a moment then.
I mean, 16 points on Monday, 15-1 last night. So I mean, he was a big difference certainly in Poole, keeping it reasonably close in the first leg. Really, the rest of the Poole team didn't really deliver that much on Monday, to be honest. Christoph Kasperzak, again, not really consistent as a number one.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Holder was a bit up and down. Hans Hansen, 8 points, not his best performance, I don't think. James Shanes, I think he's, I rate James Shanes very highly. I mean, I was very impressed with what I saw of him when he was riding for Kent at Birmingham
He's a tidy rider.
Yeah. I mean, I played Maxim last night. Admittedly, it was in races where he was up against the reserves most of the night, and he's clearly a stronger rider than Max Clegg and Nathan Greaves. So yeah, but obviously, admittedly, it's not a massive trophy, the Elite Shield, but it would have been nice to have made it a little bit closer, to be fair. But it was a good racing on Monday. We saw some really good racing, some good performances, but really, I think Poole just hit us really hard earlier in the early part of the meeting. We got 5-1 in the first heat, but after that, it was like an avalanche, really, of 5-1s, and I think it just knocked all the wind out of Wolves, to be honest.
I do think that the shall we call it the mistake on the programme, and we'll talk about that in a moment, helped Poole.
It did help Poole. It did help Poole, to be honest. I mean, it was the old format they used from last season.
Yeah, they used last season's format, which obviously had the reserves protected. So you've got the best reserves, and your reserves are just racing against other reserves. You're scoring easy points, aren't you?
That's right. So it's. I mean, there was a lot of people were saying over the last few days that were Poole going to use the new format, in which case the first leg really should have been null and void if it was run on the wrong format.
But they didn't, did they? Use the old format, didn't they? Well, they would have been stupid, really, wouldn't they? And there's one thing Poole not.
That's right. So
stupid, yeah. So. You did look fed up.
Oh, we're not fed up now. It's you got to take it on the chin, haven't you? So the biggie starts obviously with the defence of the title on Saturday down at Rye House, and then we've got the meeting on Monday against Leicester, which I think will be a tougher meeting than it would have been 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I think Leicester have strengthened their side.
Yeah, I mean, we should say congratulations to Danny King, who's now the captain of Leicester. I mean,
I don't know whether it's his sort of track, to be honest, but I think he'll soon weigh it up.
It's also interesting, isn't it, that Coventry have been doing matches around the country, and they've been having really big crowds, haven't they? And that's got to be encouraging for anybody wanting to buy Coventry and start it as back up as a going concern, that those crowds are there.
That's right.
And they need to keep that up.
I mean, they're at Wolves in a couple of weeks for a challenger match, so and again for one later on in the season, I believe. So maybe the cynic in you thinks that it's just clubs maybe just trying to get a nice little payday for it.
Well, yeah, I think there's part of that, but do you know what? That's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And
I think
it keeps the Coventry name alive.
Well, I think most promoters know that the loss of Coventry is a massive blow to British Speedway because they are one of the iconic clubs.
Do you think that played a part in Sky Sports' decision?
Might not have been the main reason, but I think it possibly
Might have been
contributed a little bit.
Yeah, I think it certainly played a part in it, I must admit. Okay, so I suppose I've been trying to avoid this. We're supposed to have a look at last night's match, which was Cradley versus Kings Lynn. Cradley 61, Kings Lynn 29, and there we go, that's what we're after.
That's all you're after, sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, the first thing to say is, oh God, it was a boring match.
It seems like it was a boring match.
It really was. There was a couple of decent
61-29, it was a boring match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably wasn't boring if you're a Cradley fan.
Well, they did seem to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and to be fair, the scoreline flattered Kings Lynn. So,
what was the crowd like?
Really weird. We thought we all came in and thought, "Whoa, this is a very poor crowd, really poor." And when I say poor, I mean really poor. And then all of a sudden, they just seemed, I don't know whether they appeared up out of they burrowed themselves up from Dudley or something, I don't know, but all of a sudden the whole and I guess
they do let them out.
They've got a longer way to come, haven't they?
They're giving the dungeons in the castle, don't they? You can come out now, lads. Well, not in a northern voice like that, but more a black country voice.
Okay, was that your?
No, that's more Brummy, isn't it?
That takes some working on that. Can I just say? Don't bother.
Okay.
We have more comments.
Graham Darlington says, has Sky been backing out for the last few years and BT with others are picking up more and more sports off them?
BT are really doing to Sky what Sky did to the BBC and ITV 20 years ago, just taking all the sport off them. So
that does seem to be.
And there's, but there have been rumours of Sky laying stuff off as well. So you wonder whether Sky are having problems.
I mean, they spent a lot on their football.
On the Premier League, Champions League, and also the F1 channel as well, which is still on a standalone channel now, isn't it? So
it is, yeah. I think all of these things have played their part, because by my understanding is that a Speedway crowd has, the audience has held up pretty well for Sky. It's very, very comparable to other sports, but
just to show me it doesn't translate into bigger crowds on the terraces.
It's really, if you look at it, it's probably gone the other way. Unfortunately,
yeah.
You have to wonder how much it needs to be on terrestrial TV.
Just to break off there, going back to the match at Ipswich, Danny King actually broke the track record in the first heat, 55.5.
He broke the track. That's an elite league.
Yeah.
Track record. That's some going, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure who held the track record at Ipswich before. I'll try and find that out.
Well, since we've mentioned that, what's the scores?
21-9 in favour of the Witches. Nico Gavati's had 2 heat wins. Daniel Hume, a win and a third in heat number 4.
Okay,
so a solid start.
Good start.
But I mean, Ipswich are gonna win that fairly comfortably.
I think they're going to win the league, or how they're going. And the other match, Sheffield. How are we getting on with that one?
Well, let's just go and have a look at what's happening at Arlington. A free entry tonight, of course, at Sheffield, and it'll be an interesting yardstick against a team that's in the top flight now, Somerset. Of course, the two clubs have been great rivals in the second tier for
of course, I'd forgot Somerset.
So many years. Yep. Close. It's 22 to Sheffield. Somerset on 20. JPB still had 2 third places. So Paul Stokes.
I mean, that's not bad going for JPB, considering they are riding against the championship side. Have they weakened the championship side, or is it a full championship side?
Yeah, it's a full strength side.
That's interesting. That bodes well for the relegation promotion issue as well, doesn't it? It might make it meaningful.
I certainly hope so, because when the number of times they've tried it before, it's not worked, unfortunately. I think the last team to get relegated officially was Swindon in about 92, I think. So
yeah, well, I mean, we shall see. I hope it's going to be interesting to see if somebody does get. It'd be nice to see actually happen, wouldn't it? That the bottom team goes down and the top team goes up, just to see if it does happen as much as anything else. Yes, Chris.
Our old friend Chris Simpson says, "Evening, chaps. Give us a B."
Okay. No.
Oh, another one. Graham Darlington says...
Hello, Chris, by the way. Nice to have you on.
Yeah, long time now, yeah.
The track now, yeah.
But in fairness, the majority of the Birmingham team should know the track anyway, so...
Yeah, but I'm worried about people like Chris Hay and Cupid and, of course, Macaulay Leak didn't even ride it in press and practice.
Yeah.
Can I just quickly say we may have gone off the air there for just a brief couple of maybe seconds or so, but we're back on now.
We're back on, are we? Okay, so sorry if you missed anything there. That's
well, you didn't, so...
Yeah.
We were just talking about Crowley, so...
Yeah, well, that's true. We went off Chris's hair, so there you go. And, everything's disappeared there.
We are broadcasting, right?
Okay,
yeah,
right, fine.
Hear us,
So, yeah, mistake on your programme, do you think it was, or not a mistake? I've been given inside information that it was a mistake, by the way, but...
well, there was no announcements whatsoever.
Right.
To be honest. I mean, in fairness, if they had announced it at the meeting, I wouldn't have heard because the tannoy was dreadful outside. I could hear Porky. Unfortunately, unfortunately. And I could hear the guy that does the radio stuff and plays all the music before the meeting, but the race time was up until about 8:12. I just gave up. I couldn't hear anything, so...
Right, well, anyway, we'll go back to we hadn't finished talking about the Cradley meeting, have we? So we'll go back to that. Now that Chris has stopped messing us about. Not that one?
Right, okay. So that's
there we go. Okay. So, I mean, I'm just looking down the scores. I've got to say, first of all, for Kings Lynn, I was quite impressed by Ryan Kinsley.
Yeah.
I know he only scored 5 points, but one was a fall. He did get a fall in his last race. He just looked to be a nice, tidy rider and was, for want of a better word, putting it about a bit. So wasn't scared to mix it. Scott Campos scored 9 points, which is not bad for Scott, I don't think.
That's right.
And Luke Priest...
Danny Phillips was a bit disappointing, I think. So.
Danny Phillips was a bit disappointing, and I was very surprised to see him out in 8:15. Although he did give it a good go in 8:15, but not to much avail. So yeah, I mean, Luke Priest riding at number 1 tried hard.
He's not on number 1, I don't think, even in this league.
No,
so.
I don't, I mean, to be fair, he tried hard, and but. Other than that, they just hadn't really got anything. I was disappointed in Connor Locke. Thought it might be a good year for him this year, but not on those. But then it's the opposition who just looks so solid, and you got to worry for Birmingham next week against Ryan Burton and Joe Lawler in particular, who rode one race without his steel show.
Cradley are stronger at reserve, without a doubt. So
I think where we was strong last year. But they're not exactly weak with the like of Danny Ayres and Dan Greenwood and Tom Perry in that top 5. They're not exactly weak there, are they?
I'll offer some comfort that they didn't. Some of their riders didn't look particularly comfortable in the practice at Monmouth the other week. So
yeah, unfortunately, they all looked comfortable at Perry Bar yesterday, last night. Danny Ayres, I thought, got better. I thought perhaps not seen his best, but Tom Perry just looks so good, and that's got to be a worry for us.
It's not a massive shock, I don't think, though, is he? Because he's got so much experience now
on the
Perry Bar track. So
it's good, but it was interesting to see Tom Bacon was there last night.
Spying.
What's he got to spy? It's his track. But looking at the opposition, I hope he didn't go away too worried. Yeah, it's going to be one hell of a match. I mean, you look at the matchups, Danny Ayres and Tom Bacon. Are you going to pick out of those two?
Difficult one, isn't it?
If Tom Bacon gates, he's gone, hasn't he?
He's difficult to catch if he gets in front. So,
number 2 is a worry for us. Chris Hay.
Yeah,
I think that might be a worry for us. Hope I'm wrong. At number 3, Dan Greenwood, and I think we've got Darryl Richards at number 3.
I think Dan Greenwood's probably slightly the stronger of the two.
But then they've got Luke Harris against Daniel Hume, I think it will be. And then at 5 we've got JPB against Tom Perry. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? That is going to be interesting because, so it's.
I do fancy the Brummies to win next Wednesday.
So many people on the BSF. I don't know whether you've seen the thread on the BSF. They're all predicting a Crowdley win.
Yeah.
And I hope all our riders are reading that.
Yeah. Sticking it on the notice board in the pits.
Yeah. So it's going to be a great meeting. So we've got a couple of bits of news actually. So the official Bellevue Speedway site's talking, remaining extremely committed to the ex-rider community, particularly to those who have adorned the Ace of Clubs race jacket over the last 89 years, and very supportive of the WSRA, which works tirelessly to come up with admissions policy for ex-riders that recognises their contribution to the sport both in this country and abroad. I thought riders were allowed to come in free, but
I've always thought that.
Ex-riders were allowed to come in free, but apparently that's not so. So unless somebody else out there knows differently.
Surely that's up to the management of the actual club as to who comes in free or not anyway.
I guess they're trying to make it a policy, but I would have thought so.
Yeah. Of course.
It seems...
especially with a new promotion, obviously, as well, as they've got at Bellevue, so...
You have to wonder how many ex-riders there are out there. They might be bigger than the actual paying crowd if they let them all in free, but... the way things are going. What was the crowd like at Monmouth Green the other night, by the way?
It was a decent crowd. I think the crowd for the Peter Carlson meeting was slightly bigger because obviously there were more people coming from outside to watch that one. But
we haven't spoke about the Peter Carlson meeting, have we?
No. No, I've got the programme with me here. So.
Well, let us know who won for a start off. Would be.
Well, I think we pretty much called it was going to be the Peter Carlson, Freddie Lindgren pairing. Although Peter didn't actually ride that often. He only took 3 of his programme rides.
Because?
I think he was basically just to give the reserves a bit of a the 2 Wolves reserves a bit of a run out. So, but it was a good meeting. It was very cold, but it was certainly an enjoyable way to watch them speed.
No rock band, I understand.
No,
disappointing. I'm sort of maybe glad I didn't. It was just too cold. It was too cold.
Good to see some of the old boys there as well. Certainly from my era, from when I was growing up. I've got to say, Ronnie Corrie in particular looked very impressive, considering that he hasn't ridden for 10 years. Looked very, very smooth. Even dropped it on Paul Hurry in one of the races, like he did in his peak. So it was good to see some of the old boys again. Sam Ermolenko struggled, but he's only just coming back from surgery on his knee, so it was always going to be a big ask for him to throw a bike around 4 laps on the back of a knee operation. So
yeah. A bit silly to try it, maybe.
Yeah, well, he probably didn't want to let Peter down. So, but Peter got a great reception, and that's it now. And I'm sure we'll see Peter again at Wolves as a spectator over the next few years. But you won't be seeing him on a bike again. So,
I was just about to ask you, have we got any?
Dave Twine says Cavati would be a good stand-in for a certain Wolves rider. They're not going to win much with that 1 to 7.
I'm guessing we're talking Adam Score.
I'm guessing Scorer as well, to be honest. Yeah.
It's not a bad call. I mean, he's ridden
the one
Elite League, of course.
Well, the one thing I will say about Adam, he's extremely popular at Wolves and always has been.
So that's bums on seats is always important, isn't it?
Yeah. But on a 7-point average, having not ridden competitively properly for 3 years, it was always a big risk having him back. And I know he's obviously had a disrupted start to the season with the injury that they kept him out of last Monday's meeting, although he rode last night. They were unusually quick to make changes last season, so you would like to think that if they think it's necessary, that they won't hesitate to do that again this season.
Cavati wouldn't be a bad shout, would he?
And he's good at Monmouth as well.
He's good. I remember his first. I remember his first ride at Monmouth. That was something else. Top scored, I think, if I remember right.
I think he did, yeah. So.
Riding from reserve, I think. Was he riding at reserve then?
He would have been there, yeah. So
what was interesting for me on that night was that he came out in his first race and pretty much couldn't ride. Do you remember? He couldn't ride the track, and you could see him in the pits afterwards talking to Danny King and talking to the Welshman. His name I forgot.
Phil Morris.
Phil Morris. Thank you very much. and there was, you could see animated talks about how to get around the corner, and you could see them trying to say, really, you've got to turn it really hard, and he came out and won his next race easily.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a quick learner, is Cavati. I think he's a very, very good.
I think
rider.
a lot of it depends if you're going to make a change like that on availability. So, because you don't want to sign a rider that's then going to miss.
He rides
loads of
for
meeting.
Ipswich Thursday night track, isn't it?
It's their other meetings, though, isn't it? They've already got penciled in for away tracks.
My understanding is championship side take preference anyway, don't they? Don't they take priority? Isn't that the way they do it these days?
No, I think that's only if they're actually owned by the club, and Cavati isn't owned by Ipswich, is he? I don't think.
Who is he owned by? Because he
I
was.
I think he's a BSPA.
He's a BSPA, right?
Because obviously the Birmingham promotion was annulled, so that's.
He's a rider I would love to see riding back at Perry Barrett someday.
Well, I'd like to think really as well from a fairness point of view that the priority should be going to the fixture that's been in the fixture just the longest. So,
if they've been rearranged, certainly, yeah.
A 7 average is really a 5 average. Remember, they are using PL averages, says Graham.
But Adam Skornicki hasn't got a Premier League average. How does that work? Somebody tell me, how does that work?
How does it work?
I know there has been a big thing about the averages this year. And
yeah, that's why we've ended up with Jack Hindall on a 13-point
average. Yeah. Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
By the way, I've just done the last beer. Okay.
Okay. Well, that won't.
You didn't ask for it.
Yeah. We knew you would, because you always do. This is why we call it the Speedway Tavern, folks. So, yeah. Any more questions out there would be...
Well, do you want updates from...
yes, please. Yeah.
Right, 30 points to 12 in favour of Ipswich, so things are going on nicely for the Witches there.
That's an easy match.
Danny King, Nico Cavati and Rory Schlein all unbeaten. Danny Hume still with those 4 points from 2 rides, so I think that's going to be a fairly straightforward result for the Witches against not a bad Berwick side. I think they're going to be quite solid, and I think they'll be not far off the playoff pace, but...
Ipswich, look, they've had a very good start to the season, haven't they? Everybody looks to be...
Yep, and still just 2 points in it at Allerton. It's 25 Sheffield, 23 to Somerset.
That is something else, that is, isn't it? How's JPB doing?
He's had 3 rides, two paid seconds, and a last.
Okay, that's not bad against Championship.
Graham Darlington also says riders are assessed at Premier League standards. So Freddie is over 10, and the 2 Visa boys are over 12.
The 2 Visa boys. Okay. You'll have to run that one past me again.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm guessing we're talking about
Aussie boys.
Yeah. We're talking about Jason Doyle and Chris Holder.
He's been very vocal, hasn't he, in recent weeks? That's criticism of the Polish regulations.
This is to do with the them trying to get our teams to sign to say that they will be available. Yeah, I mean that is we spoke about this last time, but
well, Chris Holder's been very vocal about his criticism of British Speedway, but he's quite happy to come over here and ride. And
so, is it British Speedway? He's actually criticising on that then?
Well, I think he's basically saying things along the lines of British Speedway needs to sort itself out and stop. If somebody else is going to owe you, is going to pay you more money, then would you not want to do it?
Well,
I can see the point.
I can see his point, but then my answer to that would be, okay, if you want to go where they're paying you more money, then go where they're paying more money. But don't you then just use British Speedway as a way of topping up?
Well, if all the Australian riders went straight over to Poland rather than coming here, have to learn the language, they'd have to get visas, all sorts of stuff. So
and they probably wouldn't be interested in them anyway, because they only become interested in them when they see how good they become here, I think.
Yeah.
So it works both ways. And sorry,
Chris. I like Chris Holder's rider, but I don't agree with you.
Poland,
sorry, Chris.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm not interested in Polish Speedway. I'm interested in British Speedway. That's not quite true. I am interested in Polish Speedway, but you understand what I'm saying.
Not at the detriment of our own problem.
Yeah. So, we do need to get ourselves sorted out. We need to get tougher. And I think if it means that some of these riders just ride in Poland and don't ride with us, well, that's their choice.
That's right.
And you can't take that choice off them. but I don't want them using British Speedway as just a way of topping up their wages and then complaining when we say, well, actually, you're supposed to ride for us. Yeah.
And back to the visa, boys.
Okay.
They have to ride here to get a visa to ride in Poland and Sweden.
Yes. Absolutely, they wouldn't be able to do it if they couldn't ride here.
Well, yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how Brexit, we're with you in a minute, is going to change all this. It's really going to be interesting, yes.
And Calvin Hemborough says, don't forget that Sheffield have Somerset's second heat leader and track specialist with Greaves at reserve, with everyone moving up one place.
Okay, would you like to run that past me again?
Okay. Don't forget that Sheffield have Somerset's second heat leader and track specialist with Greaves at reserve, and everyone moving up one place, says Calvin Hemborough.
So that's everyone in the Somerset team, I presume, moving up one place.
Yep.
It's still a good result, though, isn't it?
Well, it's not a result yet, but it's
still a good.
So.
Still a good showing. Great meeting for the big crowd that's there. So that's all positive as well. So.
Can I just say, it's nice that we've had quite a broad spectrum of
love
people
it.
from different clubs tonight, which is great. Which is really what we want. We want it to be basically a national sort of show, really.
Yeah, I mean,
we?
what would also be nice as well. So, for instance, if you're listening to us in or around Eastbourne, you're an Eastbourne supporter.
I was going to say Ethiopia for a minute.
Well, have they got a good speedway team? I just thought of a very inappropriate joke, but I'm not going to say. If you're down your track and you see a rider coming out of the pits, grab your phone, interview him for us. We'll put that on. We'll put that out. We'll put that on the show. Any interviews you can get, we absolutely will, as long as we've got the time.
And if you're up this way and you want to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we will probably start doing phone-ins soon as well, so that would be nice as well.
Yeah.
Most weeks we'll have an interview of some description on. It's just that there hasn't been a lot happening Birmingham-wise and
all being well, hopefully in the next couple of weeks we may have Chris Van Straten on the show. So working hard to try and get that arranged.
Yeah, because he's got a connection with both. With Cradley, with Wolverhampton, and with Birmingham.
That's right. Yeah.
We'll have to get special snacks in, things like that.
No, we'll do it on the phone, mate.
Oh,
he's seen your face and he's scared. To be fair,
yeah.
So,
You've got to understand that.
That's why we put you behind the glass.
This glass. Hang on.
So, okay. Yeah, and Ipswich are doing what at the moment? Cause
it's still 30-18 at the moment. No, it's now 32-16. So
they've dropped points.
Yep. No, actually, no, it's changed again now. It's 35-19 in favour of the Witches. Nico Gavati's unbeaten run's come to an end. He's had an engine failure.
Oh dear.
In Heat 9, so...
Oh dear, okay. Sorry, Nico.
And Daniel Hume has had an exclusion from a fall. Let's have a look at what...
Is he okay? That's the first thing there's a Bromley supporter I'm going to be asking, isn't it? Is he okay?
Yeah, fell, bend 3, lap 3, couldn't get the bike, extracted in time, race awarded.
So he was trying to get the bike up, so he's fine now. Okay. We definitely need Daniel.
Another thing I'd like to say is that, I mean, if you do miss this show, and heaven forbid you want to watch it again, it will be on our
if you're a massive
our web page. It'll probably be on later. If you go to srbradio.com, you can see all our latest videos are all there. So there you go.
Yeah, and everybody, please share. Sharing is our lifeblood. So everybody, please share.
Share us all your money.
Right, well, it's one of those nights where, as we said at the beginning, there's not a lot happening, so I'm thinking... And nobody's asked us any questions, so that's a draw then, isn't it?
Yep.
I'll take that.
That's a good start.
Who do you think is the best reserve in the second tier?
The best reserve in the second tier? I'm going to say Daniel Hume.
Daniel Hume?
What do you reckon?
Good bet, yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people have been saying that JPB is the one, but I think it's Daniel Hume.
I think Daniel Hume's going to have a good season this year.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a mega season. He's not going to be riding National League next year.
No,
that's for sure.
Which is probably good as well, because you want to see him
Yeah, of course you do.
I don't want.
This is where there are a lot of good English riders all of a sudden coming out of the woodwork. You want to see Zach Vitanek have a good season. I worry about him riding in the Elite League. Sorry, the Championship. The Premiership.
Yeah, you'll get it right.
I will get. It's going to take me a whole season to get this right.
And then they'll change it when you get it right, won't they?
And there's Bewley as well. I worry about Dan Bewley.
Dan Bewley's very reliant on his gating still, but that'll come in. That'll change in time.
Right, I've just remembered something I want to talk about.
Just on that same subject, just quickly on that subject. Bradley Wilson, Dean at Peterborough, best reserve, says Graham.
Not bad shout.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's going to be an interesting one to look at the end of the season. We might do we will do a feature at the end of the season about the riders that started at reserve, who ended up as the best. Can you get me the Brummies website, because there's something fairly serious and unfortunate that I want to talk about. So, young Keane Dickon, have you heard about this?
I haven't, no.
No. So obviously he has signed for the Brummies. 15-year-old lad signed for the Brummies. Went to his very first press and practice, really exciting, and overcooks it on the first bend and broke part of his leg. I think it was the tibia, if I remember right. Really unfortunate. Just stopped him from. So yeah, if you can put it on the first story, mate.
Okay, just before we load that, there's another story, and I'll do that. It's okay. Evening, fellas. You're working well. Great stuff. Us Glasgow fans are looking forward to seeing Messrs Perry and Smith, Jack, racing in anger this Saturday night. Tell us what their attributes are, please.
Okay, so Jack Smith and Tom Perry. Tom Perry is not the greatest gaiter in the world. I think
he's got better over the last
although
years.
He gated well last night, and he has got better, certainly at National League level. And he did really well for Peterborough actually last year for a while until he had his injury. Tom Perry is all about the dirt. He's all about getting out wide and big blasts around the outside. Very, very exciting rider, Tom Perry. Jack Smith's almost the complete opposite of that, actually. He's very fast.
I wouldn't say Jack Smith's dull. So.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No. Yeah. As far as where he rides on the track, he's much more about. Although he's has been learning the outside line more and more, and can use it, and very fiery character, Jack Smith, and never gives up. Sometimes perhaps
tries a bit too hard.
Tries too hard when perhaps he should give up at that point. But he's just try. He's one hell of a try and a big talent. So both exciting riders in very different ways. I think.
And comes from a family with a good speeder pedigree as well.
And obviously his engines and everything are going to be spot on.
His dad was British champion 3 times in a very strong era. So
if you can get the top story, that would be great. Yeah, the read more bit. You can't get the help, can you? So there you go. So I was talking about young Keane Dickon, who had that accident and now isn't starting with us. Has been replaced by Macaulay Leake. And then this story happens on Wednesday night. Birmingham team member Keane Dickon's race workshop was victim of an arson attack. Consequently, the 15-year-old has lost all of his tools and equipment due to fire damage, and he is naturally devastated with what happened during the early hours of the morning. We would like to point supporters in the direction of a page which has been set up with the aim of raising as much money as is possible to try and help Keane to get back on track at the earliest possible point once he is recovered from his current injury. Any donation, no matter how big or small, would be hugely appreciated. So there's if you go to the Birmingham Speedway site, there's a link on the bottom for him, which I'm now going to attempt to read. It's a weird one.
I'll copy and paste it straight onto the chat.
Okay, that's great. And put it on the chat. You can put it on the Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to go on the Facebook page.
Yep.
And it's going to go onto the chat.
It's on right now.
Yeah, guys, if you can help him out, that'd be great. He's had a horrible start to the season.
Luckless, isn't it, sir?
Yeah. So
awful.
That's horrible. And let's hope they catch the
people.
That's not the word I was going to use, but thank you very much for that. Personages.
Yeah.
Not nice.
Did we mention the free night?
We did about 3 times now.
Okay.
Was you asleep?
I wasn't listening.
So I think what we will do is we'll go back to the scores. We'll look at the scores at Ipswich and Sheffield, and we'll put one of your videos up. We would like people's suggestions. Also, you can put it on Facebook and put links on the Facebook for any videos and stuff that you find on YouTube that you'd like to see shown on Speedway Tavern at the beginning and at the end of the show. That would be great.
Yeah, okay.
So what's the scores?
39-21 in favour of Ipswich now at Foxhall. Danny King's still unbeaten, as is Rory Schlein. So not much change there. Ipswich are going to win that fairly comfortably, I think. Still very, very tight at Sheffield. It's 31-29. So very, very tight there. JPB is still with those two paid seconds and a last place. So a tight old meeting at Sheffield, tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one. It really is. So I think we're going to leave it at that, folks. Please remember there isn't a show next week because Chris is off gallivanting. I think he's going to Australia or something. Going to interview some. I don't know what he's doing.
We'll try and get this question in, shall we? David Twice says Cavati would only miss 3, maybe 4 Wolves matches.
It depends on what those matches are, doesn't it?
Still 3 or 4 too many, I think, to be honest. I mean, it is only 2 matches. Let's obviously stress that. But if it goes badly wrong on Saturday, then there's all of a sudden going to be pressure. I mean, that's not going to be an easy meeting on Monday against Leicester, because I think they have strengthened it quite significantly.
I think they look at a half decent team now. Actually, they might not finish wooden spoons.
Yeah. So I think you'll probably know more in a couple of weeks as to what sort of season Wolves are going to have. But there are concerns, I think, and I think there were concerns right from the start when the team was announced.
Well, I know you had some concerns, but then I remember going back to the beginning of last season and having this same conversation.
Yeah.
And you didn't think that the Wolves had got that great a team. You thought they might scrape the playoffs. 3 weeks into the season, the biggest smile on your face that I've ever seen. It was quite unnerving, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
It made me feel, try not to think about it. Don't think in pictures.
Yeah,
so you just don't know, do you?
You just don't know, no. So
I mean, the year Birmingham finished top of the Elite League, most people were writing us off. Mainly because most people were writing Smolinski off. Wow. So you just don't know. It's a weird old thing, this thing called sport.
Yeah, and then after that, I think the Bellevue matches then, so we've got a repeat of the player final, another chance for Freddie Lingard to cross swords with Mr. Cooks.
So it's time for predictions. We'd like your predictions as well. If you want to give your predictions for any other meeting as well, not just Birmingham Wolves and Cradley meetings, that'd be a bit of fun as well. We'll see who's right. But Wolves versus Leicester,
10-point win
against Bellevue to Leicester.
No, I'll go for a 10-point home win.
Okay, just thought I'd try and trick you there. And the Bellevue match.
Ooh, I think that'll be a 10-12-point defeat.
Okay, since I'll put you on the spot, I suppose I should put myself on the spot for the Cradley meeting. I'm going to go 2-point win to Birmingham. I think we're going to win it in Heat 15. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? That'd be fun. Right, and we won't worry about any Birmingham City predictions.
No,
because they can't buy a win, can they?
Cheers, thank you very much.
Take care, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
So has Kasperzak on 2. Now Hancock is going to try and go through the middle and around the outside. That's a crash down the back straight. Hancock and Emerson go down.
Just goes straight across. Look at Hancock desperately gets his hand caught on the back tyre of Emerson, and that causes a problem. And subsequently gets his arm and hand caught in his own machine. Watch it now. He's desperately trying to get now. Just there, the hand gets pulled in on back tyre of Emerson. Very awkward crash. Very awkward crash. And clearly Emerson very uncomfortable and knee injury possibly. But the hand of Hancock sucked underneath the mudguard, the rear mudguard. There now. Tyre's pulling him in, pulling him off the bike. Look, his whole arm's gone in there. That is dramatic.
Well, I hope both boys are going to be okay here.
Look at his arm there. That's awful.
Teoretycznie tutaj bomberowi nie miało prawa nic się stać, bo był ostatni, wypuścił...
Sajdino. Oj, 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 oj. Aj, aj, aj. Herregud.
Seifetino
Ja, han står på tvären där och Hans har ingenstans att ta väg utan...
Aj. Och helt sonika alltså flyger rakt över sargen där. Hur vårdslöst är den där ingången från Seifetino?
Ja. Efteråt också. Men kolla, publiken står upp, jublar och hyllar Kai Wuofinen.
Ja, vi har en Seifetino Nichols repris att vänta här. Och de är förbannade nu på varandra och det är...
Nu blir det slagsmål här, det tror jag.
Piotra Pawlickiego i wyglądało na to, tak jak Kuba mówił, że tam jakaś awaria sprzętu, ale skoro tym sprzętem można jeszcze tyle czasu jeździć na jednym kole, to znaczy, że nie było z nim aż tak najgorzej.
Myślę, że nie...
Oj, 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 vilken målgång!
Jedzie Suchecki, ale na razie Łodzianie. Niespodziewanie kapitalnie. Fatalnie. Tak, zdecydowane prowadzenie tutaj właśnie widzimy. Wyrzuciło motocykl Misulskiego i tutaj najgorzej na tym ucierpiał Jakub Jamruk, który...
Ze sprzętem jest absolutnie perfekcyjnie. Jeszcze raz powtórka tego upadku Nikiego Pedersena. Czy ty pamiętasz...